We travel to distant lands. We seek adventure. We're fascinated by different cultures. Random happenings. We thrive on experiences that can tap us into the source of inspiration. We are the products of immigrants.
When my dad died, he left me the whole world to make a living in.
Immigrants who built a world so the next generation could do better. Now it's our turn.
Tapping in.
Tapping in.
I'm Leon Panetta, and I'm tapping in.
And I'm tapping in.
I'm Linda Swain. As co-founder of one of the world's leading travel companies, I've spanned the globe in search of the happiest people
Nice smiles.
and places around the world for my work. Now join me on a trip to happiness.
We're tapping in.
Now I'm seeing clearly. Happiness is near me. I can feel the power. Stronger by the hour. I'm taking a trip to happiness. I'm tap, 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 tap. I'm tapping in. I'm tapping in.
Let's go to an island in the Pacific, so green, so pure, it's the last habitable place on Earth to be discovered. Today, the population is only 5% human, and most of them live here.
We're tapping into Auckland, New Zealand, the city of sails.
There are many ways to view this very modern and electric city of Auckland, but Kiwis prefer a sea view. 1 in 3 households own a boat, so no wonder they have the biggest marina in the world. There is one special boat, though, like no other. It will take us back to an ancient time with New Zealand's first immigrants, the Maoris. The voyage begins with a welcome.
It's great to have you guys here.
And song. One I'm learning. Now to cast off on New Zealand's one and only waka.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot of work getting out of there.
It's total instrument-free navigation.
The team aboard this waka play equal roles and on long voyages round the clock because this rudder is really heavy.
Wow, it's really
strong.
strong. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we like sailing around on the harbour and people sail past on their modern boats.
So the waka is really based on ancient navigation systems.
Yep. You know, the fact that we can actually come onto a vessel like this and sail 2,000 or 3,000 miles across the ocean by just looking at the stars and everything else. This is the real deal.
This is a real deal.
This waka has sailed all the way to San Francisco.
See these sails behind us here? They're shaped like that,
Yes?
and our sails are upside down.
Is it because you're on the other side of the world from me?
We capture more wind where we need it.
Maybe you should be in the America's Cup with this boat.
Well, I tell you what, when you think about America's Cup, what were they? Were two
Canoes.
hulls. 5,000 years ago, we started out from Taiwan.
Really?
We made voyages on vessels just like this. They understood the art of celestial navigation and wayfinding
So anywhere in the world,
Yep.
you can navigate.
and navigate. You know, we lost this art, Linda. When Captain Cook arrived here, there were hundreds of canoes and they made sketches of them and recorded them.
Elders like John saw the importance of young people being able to work with nature.
In a happier way, anyway.
In a happier way, because we're in the flow. And you're never more in the flow than on a waka.
That's dead right.
Great you're here, you know, great to just share our harbour with you. And
And I'm learning your song a bit.
yeah, you're not bad too. I saw you singing and doing all your words. It's pretty good.
Well, you know what? It's all about the team, right?
Yeah, teamwork.
There'll never be a time Maori don't know how to navigate by the stars. It'll never be lost again.
Ancient knowledge returns, and until about 200 years ago, New Zealand had no predators at all. Birds didn't even need to fly.
Predators have been brought in.
Yeah, we have a lot of mammalian predators, unfortunately, that have wreaked havoc.
No, not these predators, or these, which you can see here in the most beautiful habitats.
Tapping into the Auckland Zoo.
The Auckland Zoo is using their backbone to reach out to the world in conservation.
These are all native New Zealand
Yep.
plants.
Here we are in Te Wanui. We want to ensure that they thrive and survive into the future.
As well as the indigenous animals they're breeding here.
This is a Kia.
Yes, that's right. The only
alpine parrot in the world. He's everyone's best friend if you have some food.
So a lot of the species that we breed here actually go on to offshore islands.
And when they mature, they're brought back to predator-controlled areas on the mainland.
So that they're big enough then to fight off the likes of rats and...
There's no rats in New Zealand. I didn't see any.
And because of the Auckland Zoo's efforts, the kiwi's national bird, the kiwi, has a future.
And you can see the size of it.
It's like a dinosaur egg.
It's like giving birth to a 35-pound baby.
That's crazy.
So the chick is 18 days old today.
With feathers like fur and whiskers like cats. And kiwi is the sound they make. And I got to hold the last living dinosaur,
Okay to touch it?
the tuatara.
means spiny ridgeback. They're around when the dinosaurs were around.
How long do they live?
So tuatara can live over 150 years.
150 years?
So if you protect these guys, you protect other species in the wild.
Even big bugs that nurture the forest, like the giant wetapunga.
That is huge.
Yeah, or a giant weta.
It looks like a lobster, actually.
Does a little bit.
You have one on your
I
leg.
do, I have a tattoo of one on my leg.
We've got a really strong family of passionate people that are working to make a better future for wildlife.
I think the kiwi just said I'm tapping in.
Coming up, extreme fishing.
Is that a
Oh, you're
fish?
getting it.
And what's hot
Oh my gosh.
and chilled with celebrity chef Grace Ramirez.
I'm a quarter kiwi.
1,000 feet up
Oh my god.
and no railings. A married welcome ceremony. Then in California on Cannery Row, this man bet a deserted town would be the happiest one and made another behind the scenes at the famous sardine factory.
You're right.
It was a spectacular morning in Auckland when I arrived at in-flight. I met up with Ben, my pilot,
Yes. Heli fishing today.
who was about to take me on a hella fishing trip to one of the many uninhabited islands around New Zealand.
We're coming to get you, fishies.
Today we're taking the scenic route, which is really any route you can take through this magnificent remnants of a volcanic field where Auckland sits among 48 magnificent green and extinct cones. Now, Ben's got to land this helicopter on a rock in the middle of the ocean.
Okay, so we're coming into our fishing spot.
Wow.
We're at the fishing spot.
Wow. Fishing on a rock. Oh, this is great. Ah. This is incredible. What a fun. Okay, so I've never fished before, you know, Ben.
You haven't?
I have never fished before.
Oh, hopefully we'll be able to get some snapper today.
Snapper? Okay, so
Yeah.
how big is a snapper?
A big fish could pull you in.
Oh, great. Ah, this is so beautiful. Look at this. The entire island is made up of oysters, it seems.
All the rocks that are just above the high tide mark.
So after Ben showed me the easiest way to cast,
Oh, that looks good.
I was up.
Okay, so first time fishing.
Yes.
So you hold the nylon with your right hand, you're lifting the bail up. You want to back swing that fish there. You flick the line over, hold on with your left hand and let go with your right hand at about there.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Wow, perfect. First ever cast. Wind a little bit of the slack
Okay.
and then you wait. Snapper time.
Fishing in Auckland. Is that a fish?
Oh, that looks like there could be a fish.
Something's moving.
Oh, you're getting it, so wind, keep winding. Oh, there it's gone.
The one that got away. I'm kind of happy.
So it turns out there's no fish around
Linda, there's orcas.
because of these guys.
Oh, it's amazing.
But I did get to explore this extinct volcano and breathe in this beauty.
Just a New Zealand rock crab, they're everywhere.
Now from crab legs to sea legs.
Okay, woohoo! I got my sea legs.
Well, I didn't catch a fish, but I did catch a ride on this sea legs to Waiheke Island.
Piece of cake.
And better yet, just a few feet off the beach is one of the many wine cellars on Waiheke Island, like Man o' War, named after this bay. There is another that resembles a chapter out of a storybook, Mudbrick, where the wines are as smooth as the view.
This is like velvet.
That's next.
Oh,
Velvet's next.
it's like velvet, but not velvet.
Maybe you're tapped in.
Touche.
Owner Robin Jones was able to tap into her dream of a world-class winery and restaurant, starting with just the Mudbricks.
So this really is a fairy tale.
Yes, it is.
How is it that you were able to create your dream?
In your spare time when nobody is pushing you, that's what you really should be doing.
And that's how people shape their dreams here. Like Christine Havermatz-Wheeler, internationally renowned jewelry designer who only stops working when someone rings the bell.
What a beautiful view.
Yes.
The view that inspires her work, along with her favorite plumber, her dad.
The smell of metals, the fire.
So you've incorporated plumbing skills in your jewelry baking?
Yes. And this is the oil can for my dad.
That looks like it's even older than Dorothy's oil can from The Wizard of Oz.
The Tin Man would have a field day here with Christine. It seems she has a million tools here, from melding, cutting, hammering, pounding, and sawing, and doing it all herself.
One ring took me really 30 years to complete.
If Wahiki is Oz, then Christine is the wizard.
I bought the stone in my apprenticeship 48 years ago. Some pieces take a bit longer than others.
Oh, 48 years to perfection.
This is called Hawaiki dreaming.
Christina, I'm taking Hawaiki for a walk.
You happily can take Hawaiki for a walk.
Actually, I left Hawaiki for my ride on the ferry back to Auckland to get a taste of Auckland, where you can dress up for the pop-up food and drink stands. Tonight, you get a taste of what's hot on the culinary scene.
It's quite hot.
So I started in the hottest place here, the tasting shed, in the dirt and in heels.
So you have to take your shoes off and walk on the coals.
Chef Riwi is a hangi master preparing a hangi, a traditional Maori feast cooked below ground on steaming hot rocks.
Some of these rocks are my grandfather's, so he's like 80 years old, some of them. And check this out, these guys have been marinating for 4 days. The slow process.
It's cooking with love.
It's cooking with love, part of their tapestry, part of their DNA.
Yeah, it's the aroha.
Their aroha.
And now to try this pork dish prepared with the tasting shed's aroha. That's Maori for love.
Good thing we prepared you for the dribble.
And who better to show me around than Master Chef alum Grace Ramirez, who moved to Auckland from New York for love.
You know, I'm a quarter Kiwi. New Zealand teaches you to relax, to sweet as. It's all good, it's all fine. Just chill a little bit. This place is world class. The food is world class, like the oysters, the maharangi oysters. Have you had them?
Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
You had me at hello. Yes. Wiggle, wiggle. Is that like abracadabra?
It is
wiggle,
like
wiggle.
abracadabra for oysters. And then if you turn your wrist and...
Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Yes! I guess I have to eat it now too,
I
right?
think you should.
Cheers, Kyle.
Cheers, cheers. Fantastic.
Best oysters, taste of Auckland. Because it came from you, I love it even more.
Up next, world champs.
World champions!
Then fun with a fashion mogul and a knight. Sailing on the Courageous.
Coil some ropes like this.
And finding courage 1,000 feet up.
We're so high. Hi, I'm Linda Swain. Tell us how you and your community are tapping into happiness.
And have a chance to fly Air New Zealand and have an unforgettable experience in Auckland. Visit us at tappinginshow.com for details.
I'll see you in your happy place.
A cloudy morning in Auckland is also a perfect day for boating.
Welcome aboard Courageous. It's a great day for sailing today.
Oh, I can't
Especially with Brad from Explore Sailing.
Would you like to stand on the Tom Cruise box? This is my viewing box so I can see where I'm going.
The tour begins with a tale of their famous 1998 America's Cup win.
So that boat over there is Steinlager 2. It was raced by Sir Peter Blake and his motley crew of 22 big, hairy, burly men around the world. And it won,
Do you think the hairiness had something to do with that?
Well, it did. It did. Well, it kept them warm when they went through the Southern Ocean, yeah.
Brad demonstrated Kiwi burliness.
Just coil some ropes like this. All right, so we're head to wind. We need to hoist the sails now. So if you want to go up the front with Steve, well, Ian, come and drive. All right, nearly there, nearly there.
Goodbye, honey.
All right, that's about it.
Now my turn at the
Turn
helm.
the boat to the right, nice and quick, otherwise we'll hit the bridge. That's enough. All right, slow us down a little bit.
I love it. This is great.
Perfect.
So what do you think makes Auckland one of the happiest places on the planet?
So we have racing during the week, just about every single day. We've got amazing beaches, awesome scenery, great wildlife as well out here in the harbour, and there's just so much to explore.
So boating is the thing here.
Yes, Yes, it is. If you don't have a boat, you're not really cool.
Well, I'm sure a third of Aucklanders would agree, but today, 100% of them think rugby is the coolest. Because the celebration of the All Blacks winning the Rugby World Cup is on.
All Blacks are world champs in Auckland, New Zealand! Woo! Go All Blacks! Congratulations!
And no one puts on a celebration like the Kiwis.
All Blacks, world champions.
The mana and the pride.
Two times in a row, so.
Obviously, they have winning in their blood.
And we're tapping in.
And while I was in Auckland, I could not pass up the chance to catch up with New Zealand's most celebrated fashion designer, Trelise Cooper.
This is the Pacific Islands.
It is the Pacific Islands.
And in the Pacific Islands, Trelise has built an empire for over 30 years, and a larger empire honored her with a knighthood, making her Dame Trelise.
I may not be a dame, but I feel like a dame in this.
No, you look great, and I love it with the pearls. Travel, I think, is the best thing for inspiration.
Travel and tassels.
Fun!
That's part of our resort collection. And this is to wear when you're in Marrakesh on a rooftop or somewhere India.
And India is just one place where Trelise combines her love of travel and fashion to help others.
I was introduced to an orphanage in the slums that I have been supporting since 2004. You get to love what you do by giving back. So they give to me in this beautiful way, and I give back by buying it from them.
That's wonderful, and also I get the chance to try it on.
Great, shimmy.
I got a shimmy. Woo! Seems like you've been in the flow for a long time.
I have been in the flow for a long time, and I'm still in the flow. It's all about attitude. It's all about what we think about, we bring about, and what we believe we achieve.
Well, I'm so happy to be swimming in your stream.
Thank you. Linda, I have one more surprise outfit.
Why am I not surprised that Trelise designed the stunning flight attendant uniforms for Air New Zealand?
I feel official.
You just need the jacket.
Oh, I'm not official yet.
I am now a very fashionable Air New Zealand flight attendant.
A pinky purple are the skies of New Zealand, and that's where that was inspired by.
Well, I'm feeling as sweet as...
They are as sweet as. I'm Trelise Cooper, and I'm tapping in.
So I got to spin again in Trelise's Pacific dress in the beautiful courtyard of St. Mary's Residence with owner Michael Kutz.
Wow.
What a treat to visit New Zealand and stay in this private luxury home with a world-class chef and this view.
This is someone's traveling home away from home, making sure people are looked after.
This home is a lot neater, and my home doesn't have a chef.
But boy, was I ever looked after. Now let's take this harbor view to another level.
Tapping in colors, yeah.
This is the latest fashion for walking around the outside of the tallest building in the Southern Hemisphere, the Sky Tower.
Have you done anything like this before?
I kind of almost fell off a Table Mountain in South Africa.
Oh, wow. Come on out, Linda. Welcome to my office.
Wow, this is beautiful.
Not bad, huh?
Whoa! Woohoo!
The sky jump is another thrill out here, but it's much too glorious a day to take the fast track down. I happen to be staying here at the Sky City Complex while in Auckland, and I got a different perspective inside the tower with Brad.
Everyone flocks to this place.
Yeah. A few years ago, we decided that we wanted to create a centre of entertainment.
And thrilling entertainment up here.
They look like little toy cars.
And there's no railing.
Eden has some challenges for me.
Oh my God.
It's a little bit different when you're not so stationary, right?
I'm still here.
This time you're going to be walking backwards.
Okay, this feels scary. If I hold on, I could do the moonwalk.
Show off and just push your legs nice and straight. And if you want,
Okay, who's showing off?
have another look down.
Okay, this is definitely scary. Woo!
You're feeling super brave. You can go up onto your tiptoes. Hands out. Woohoo!
Oh my God! Woo!
Well done.
That was amazingly scary.
Yeah, not everyone does that challenge, so you did really well.
I feel like I'm on top of the world.
I love it. I love it up here. Eden and I are just walking on top of Auckland.
We're tapping in.
Coming up,
Here comes my ride.
it's Harley Heaven to the most dangerous beach in Auckland, why they're not afraid, and an extraordinary vet at the famous sardine factory.
This is your ride.
Let us share how you're tapping in. Visit tappinginshow.com. So if you're not boating in Auckland,
Here comes my ride.
you could take a ride on a Harley.
Guys,
Hey Linda, how's it going?
Great. Hey, guys.
I see you got your Harley jacket on there. You want to go for a ride?
Oh, you better believe it.
Today, I'm riding with Baz, Divot, and Carrie from Bularangi, which means welcome to heaven.
So where are we going?
Well, I think we'll go out West Auckland, out through the suburbs and out to the beautiful western beaches of Piha.
Is this so I can hold on to you?
Yeah, I've given you one.
I gotta hold on to Baz.
Because I'm taking a ride in Harley heaven.
Woo! Tapping into some Harley action in Auckland. Woo!
Barely a car on the road, and one landscape was sweeter than the next. One town I visited was Matakana. The pit stop gave me my first clue that this was not a typical town. The theater has 30,000 paper roses on the ceiling. Then I got to the market.
Who's this one? This is Monty.
And met the very colorful Michael in charge.
I'm Michael from Matakana Village Farmers Market in New Zealand.
And Michael's very excited about Auckland's first slow city. It promotes a better way of life by improving the environment.
Karen, originally from Hawaii.
And knowing the people who make the goods you buy. And the kids who watch your pets while you shop.
You too, right?
Eat honey, don't worry about the other stuff. Hey guys.
Well, it is a whole food, isn't it?
1 teaspoon of honey is a lifetime of work for one bee. And Roger gave up 35 years of his work to get a different kind of buzz.
They work for me every day. I got like 10 million bees out there working today.
And Roger knows them all by name.
Yeah, I just want a lifestyle too, and this is a beautiful lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle that makes me feel how amazing it is to just slow down.
And you make all of these?
I do.
I think I'm gonna be here for a few hours. So can I have a taste?
Absolutely.
Certainly.
And their olive farms, other farms, and vineyards are all close by, like Heron's Flight.
It's the flight of the imagination.
Where you can sit on the patio and drink Mary's delicious grape juice, or have a glass of the other grape juice in the vineyard with the winemaker, and down the road with Ranger Jason.
Oh my gosh, it's spectacular.
All native forests through here.
Even in the 1920s, Aucklanders realized their duty to the next generation is to live in harmony with nature.
So for generations to come, everyone can come up here and see pretty much the same view.
And I learned how to read clouds.
For us in here, ponytails and fish gulls mean it rains on the way.
Oh, you're the mustard man.
And now, to taste some tzatziki with mustard.
It's good, isn't it?
That's good.
By the end of the day, Linda will be fairly rotund.
People like them, it makes you feel good because you've made them.
I'm feeling the love, I'm feeling the family love here. This is great. Enjoy it.
And we're tapping in.
And back on the open road.
That was great, guys. Woo! Awesome.
Yeah, that's New Zealand for you. Pretty bad traffic if it's 3 cars out in the open road.
So where are we now?
We're at Piha Beach, one of the most famous beaches in New Zealand and one of the most dangerous. So we're going to drop down to the beach, are we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Right into Harley heaven and take the long way home.
The most dangerous beach is covered with black sand, hundreds of surfers, and lifesavers in training of all sizes. Jackie's in charge of very busy lifesavers.
What we have is like rips going around Lions Rock, and a lot of people think that they're safer near the rocks. They're actually safer further away from the rocks.
So all these kids are doing drills because at some point they're going to be out there surfing?
Yes.
Or life-saving?
Yes. You can see how confident they are.
Yeah.
Because they'll learn to be confident that they can get themselves back to shore.
Now, would you say these are big waves for now, or were they?
No, this is actually quite small.
I could even surf here.
Yes.
Although you haven't seen me surf.
And judging from my one lesson on Bondi Beach in Australia, Jackie won't see me surf today. Although my ride back to Auckland does kind of surf. Scotts Point is one place that Auckland seaplanes will drop down to greet you.
Wherever we land, the children are the first ones down on the beach.
Okay, I'm ready to fly.
Excellent.
And this seaplane can take us pretty much anywhere around the islands of Auckland. There's one more stop in Auckland, a very special place that you most surely want to come in peace. Coming up,
we're tapping into Cannery Row Wildlife.
Once deserted Cannery Row, transformed. How this man did it. Now millions of people and animals flock here. And behind the scenes happy in the Sardine Factory wine cellar.
Hi, I'm Linda Swain. Tell us how you and your community are tapping into happiness.
And have a chance to fly Air New Zealand and have an unforgettable experience in Auckland. Visit us at tappinginshow.com for details.
And you'll be as happy as a Kiwi in flight.
Sweet as.
The late author John Steinbeck would not recognize the Cannery Row he made famous. The weedy lots, junk heaps, sardine canneries of corrugated iron he described have been transformed into a beacon of happiness on the Monterey coast in California because of this guy.
When my dad died, when I was just a young man, I read the will. He left me the whole world to make a living in.
Ted Balistreri, CEO of Cannery Row Company, built the stuff that dreams are made of as an impeccably dressed son of immigrants.
Usually a statue has a rifle or a sword, but you've got a deck of cards.
A deck of cards, cigars was kind of how I got started.
It was the camaraderie of a card game and a dream of owning a restaurant in 1968 that transformed an entire town.
Let's look at this.
You don't know how these buildings look. They all collapsed when we bought them. It's just nothing but deserted canneries, all crumbled. But we had one ingredient. And then the one ingredient that's very important today, love.
Love.
We love the customer, we love the area, we love the people.
We love it.
So the first people I fell in love with here are the owners of Adventures by the Sea, Michelle and Frank Knight.
We work, but we make fun. Out of there, that's my...
Who started this whole thing?
Me. But...
With 5 locations, over 150 kayaks, more bikes, and we'll get to these.
You are steering this.
Oh, okay.
Adventure is definitely big in Cannery Row.
We have the best coastal bike ride.
And then, you know...
If I do say so myself.
So to test that theory, Frank had to show me the best bike ride.
Look, whales!
Right there.
Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. Ah!
They get the bait ball all in one big, tight ball, and then they work him up. He was coming up and engulfing as much as he could. You know, everyone's happy when there's food in the bay.
Hey, I'm happy.
Look, you just did it again.
Oh my gosh! That's fantastic.
That was amazing.
That's so cool.
There's a pupping beach over there. That's why it is fenced off over there, because if you scare the harbor seals off the beach, sometimes the pups will get separated and they won't find their mom and no one accepts them back.
So this is man and nature working together.
Totally, yeah.
Frank is convincing me.
I mean, to go from Fisherman's Wharf, Cannery Row, into Pebble Beach, all the way, Cypress Point, lone cypress tree, most photographed tree in the world. I mean, by far, this is the best.
Or is the best taking a spin around Cannery Row in a Surrey with Michelle.
You know, Cannery Row is like a movie set.
You know, it totally is. And it's funny, right now it's all before the hubbub, because there's the delivery trucks and everyone's sort of scrambling to get ready for the day. But when you look at it, it does feel like you're at Universal Studios.
You know what's neat? That you see a lot of families here. Can I ask you a question? What is your name?
My name.
So we borrowed a child for the Surrey ride.
You're so beautiful.
What's her name? Baby. Aren't you having fun?
Only in Cannery Row.
Baby.
Her, it made my morning.
What was your name?
She had a great time. This is more fun than I thought I was going to have this morning. Cannery Row has happiness in the can.
That's it.
So we realized that Cannery Row had something, a charm, a mystique. So we started buying up one building after another building.
There was one building in 2003, rather a building site, that Ted worked very hard to convince Anne and Clement Chen to buy.
He said to me, Clement, God is my partner. Nobody's going to build in front of you.
But there were heaps of holdups on the construction because of the wildlife.
And I started making banana bread.
So Anne came to the negotiating table. So God, Ted, Clement, Anne, and her banana bread came together. And the sensational Intercontinental Clement was built.
I make hundreds of loaves a year now.
Wait, I don't see my banana bread anywhere.
Now this family hotel that runs at an amazing 90% occupancy year-round.
Chen is our blackberry crunch cake.
Is a sight for sore eyes.
Seeing the wildlife, seeing the natural beauty. I'm told there are whales in the bay. I've never seen any myself, but you've seen them.
I've seen them. As soon as I got here, I saw them.
But Clement has created an undersea experience inside the hotel.
My grandfather worked in Shanghai. They said to him, you need an English name. How about Clement?
And then Clement's father built his first hotel in Palo Alto.
I cleaned every bathroom, screwed together every closet rack.
And now they're living and working the dream.
This opening
A window to the sea.
I know you haven't seen the whales yet.
I have not seen a whale myself.
But birds swim underwater in Cannery Row.
I apparently have led a very sheltered life. I have not seen them yet, but...
You know what, your job was just to make an incredible hotel.
Okay.
Together with Anne and her famous banana bread.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I can check. Oh, there's another one. I can check that off the list. So just looking for a whale now.
He would be out there.
And butterflies in his building on the street level in a gorgeous gallery called Z Folio, owned by Z and Michael, and their top salesperson, Carly, the official greeter. It's filled with magnificent check glass.
Let's go show Dad.
Inspiring art and other temptations.
I'm gonna be so poor when I leave this place.
It's a one of a kind, so.
Like Michael's stunning photographs. No wonder Z Folio was voted one of the top designer destinations in the U.S.
I taught diving off the beach right over here.
So you have a heart connection to here.
Absolutely. So we want everybody who comes in here to feel welcomed and so that they can leave feeling a little better than when they came in. It's a Hopi saying, walk in beauty. Beauty isn't optional.
Up next, what's happening in the kitchen, a bar with a view, and a big bet worth losing.
Leon gets bin Laden.
I rose early to take advantage of the piano in my room and looked up to see the sunrise over Cannery Row. I thought the sun came up on the East Coast, not in Cannery Row. Then I went for a run and tried to imagine how many sardines in this bay it would take to line a whole town with canneries. Until I met Michelle on the beach. The moment we put our kayaks in the water, I've never experienced anything like it.
I mean, look at that. We could walk on it.
A smorgasbord under the sea, and even on the beach.
Wow. Cannery Row is unbelievable.
And not just thousands of birds flying in for the feast, but otters, sea lions.
That's a harbor seal.
And dogs. Must be a fish eater. Then we beached our kayaks or paddleboards. I glided on the shiny sea, and Michelle did yoga. So I left Michelle in her zen space and hitched a ride with Frank back to the marina. Hey there. Then I made a quick stop for some happiness under the sea, without getting wet, at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. It's one of the best in the world, and hopping with people and fish. Right down the street from the Fish Hopper. Owner Sabu Sheikh
Things are happening here.
cooked up some fun for me in the kitchen, but first, the Cannery Row Feast for the Eyes.
Wow, what a view.
Yes.
It's like Jurassic Park, but for birds.
The birds are so thick out there you can walk on them right now.
Or swim with them. This place is hoppin' because of their signature dishes brimming with seafood, like the hoppers of the early 1900s, brimming with sardines.
They would dump all the sardines in there and they'll be vacuumed into this building and then transferred to the canneries for canning.
Sabu's father came to Cannery Row from Pakistan.
He came to America like many other immigrants with no family, no money, no job. But he had a strong philosophy. There's never such a thing as you can't do it. Achieving the American dream by owning and operating his first restaurant.
Sabu took that can-do philosophy and ran with it. He and his family raised $2 million for the Salvation Army Center in honor of his dad. And he spoils anyone in the military who dines at the Fish Hopper. Now to the kitchen with Chef Jose to make his famous cioppino.
It would be the first cooking lesson here at the Fish Hopper.
Yay!
You ready for me today?
Chef Jose came from El Salvador.
I fell in love with Monterey and I never left. Shallot garlic.
Some thyme, oil, white wine.
And they're gonna put all seafood here. Get all the...
That smells so good.
Get all the flavor.
And now for the homemade marinara sauce.
Nothing on my apron so far. I'm pretty good, huh?
Good, you did a good job. Yep, I do one, and then you do one. And then we're gonna pour the sauce. Make sure there's no mess.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Okay, Jose, well, you keep on cooking. I'm kind of gonna go eat.
I'm going to stay here and wait for you.
Well, Chef Jose may be waiting a while because just down the street is the Taste of Monterey.
In all the wine rooms I've been, I have never seen a view like this.
Some say it's like being in a cruise ship. It's a really special spot.
With special owners, Robin and Ken Rao now own this original cannery built in 1918. Along with their bistro, they showcase over 100 varietals of Monterey area wine.
Monterey County has beautiful wines.
Oh, yeah. Robin has her roots in the vines.
Putting the stakes in, planting the grapes.
So you know the whole 9 yards?
I do, yes.
And Ken has his roots in the hills.
A lot of hillbillies up here.
Hillbillies that drink pretty good wine.
That's right. Takes a lot of beer to make good wine.
People think of other areas in California as having wine country and not realize that Monterey County has such a big wine country.
A lot of it is Chardonnay. A lot of it is Pinot Noirs.
Okay, Pinot Noir, you said the magic word for me. So, gee, is that in that bottle?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Cheers to many more tastes of Monterey.
Cheers. We always say that the more wine you drink, the more whales you see.
Look at that.
Coming up, behind the scenes of the famous wine cellar of the Sardine Factory.
The only one that knows is Bravo.
And a marriage ceremony for the generations. Tapping In has teamed up with Icebreaker, the sexy, no-itch, merino wool clothing that makes you feel like you're born to live wild.
We have a saying, if we made you feel at home, we made $1 million mistake. And she wanted to meet some of the happiest people. Our job is to make you feel better at home, or why would you go out? And if you look around the room, give us at least a half hour before we start to fight.
Laughter is a familiar sound in this room, the elegant and fully stocked wine cellar.
We are home to 33,000 bottles of wine.
Of the famous Sardine Factory that Ted and his partner Bert Catino transformed from its former self, an actual sardine factory. Tonight, we are enjoying their signature service, where each culinary masterpiece is presented to the sound of a classical masterpiece.
Salad, we have Johann Sebastian Bach.
I felt honored to sit with Ted's longtime friends, all with similar stories of realizing the dreams of their parents.
My parents being immigrants felt this country is built on our operating as a family.
It is the same group of friends who gathered for a special moment, which included the most special bottle of wine in this cellar.
The single most expensive bottle of wine we've ever had.
Leon said, oh, you ever had expensive wine? That's an 1870 Lafite.
And he said, you know, that's probably my most expensive bottle in the wine cellar.
And all of a sudden, I said, yeah, when you catch Bin Laden.
And if Leon gets Bin Laden, I'll open that bottle.
He jumps up and he says, you're on. And that's not Leon's character.
So are you saying that you had some inside information before that bet was made?
The only one that knows is Bravo.
And Leon's dog Bravo was present, but he wasn't talking.
We had to open the wine. It was one of the greatest experiences in our life. So we celebrated America's true heroes.
All of us have a responsibility to really care for each other.
Try to serve the public and make them feel a little better.
Now a spectacular ice swan finish.
We only had one person that wanted to take it home with him. I said, it's ice. It's not gonna make...
I felt happy to be in the sensational Sardine Factory,
and I'm honored to be around people of service.
With this Cannery Row family.
Cheers. People think of you here as the benevolent godfather of Cannery Row.
I hope I live up to it. America is the place where anything can happen if you want to work at it.
Then for breakfast, I joined Ted and his family in their lovely home overlooking Pebble Beach Golf Club. Working alongside Dad, Vinny and
Teddy, okay.
It's cute and cuddly, like a teddy bear.
Inherited their father's wit. And Velma?
But when I met her, I gave her something that no other man ever gave her. Complete poverty.
But the children of immigrants built the dream for future dreamers.
It's a living thing. It's almost another member of the family.
There's just a lot of happy people that come and visit the area and leave happy.
This is our moment in history to leave something that's even better than when we came.
Halfway around the world in New Zealand, another family of generations welcomes us into their home with an ancient tradition. It is the ancestral meeting ground of the Orokai Marae of the Ngati Watua tribe of Auckland. Ian retrieves the leaf offering, our permission to enter. The energy is palpable as the women call to each other, and the children sing. and the men in their ritual dance welcome us into their sacred space. Once inside, the ceremony continues, and the songs, history, and the wisdom of the elders, spoken in Maori and in English.
We here, we're all one family.
Then one by one, we exchanged the Maori greeting, the hongi, with everyone that was present.
You look familiar.
Then another chance to sing the Maori song about how love is taught by our ancestors, and a chance to express gratitude.
I learned a word for awesome, tumeke. I love that you children are learning all of this. And you remind me of my dad. Yes. And my dad always said, faith, family, and friends. So I feel the heart of your ancestors, your traditions.
Entering party comes in peace or in war.
Well, I'm glad we came in peace because I would not want to face you coming in war. I pray that all of us will continue to be part of the circle that brings us all back to the way we should be, a family, friends with faith.
I relied a lot on rosaries. We remember our very beginnings and the life force that was given by Mother Earth.
Oh, let's get some life force.
Embrace other people, embrace other cultures.
Hi, I'm Linda Swain. Tell us how you and your community are tapping into happiness and have a chance to fly Air New Zealand and have an unforgettable experience in Auckland. Visit us at tappinginshow.com for details.
And you'll love living on the edge.
And I'm tapping in.
I'm tapping in.
And I'm tapping in. And we're tapping in. 3, 2, 1.
And we're tapping in.
I gotta get inside. I want to buy this land.
Spreading the love.
We belong to the World Travel and Tourist Council together. Try to make those borders a little more friendly.
I'm tapping in.